Welcome back to Keen Plays. Today I've got another board game I picked up from Dollarama. This was only $5. I'm actually pretty impressed with the amount of decent games that Dollarama is bringing in. Like, of course, there's a lot of crappy throwaway games that they also sell, but occasionally they have these half decent games. So yeah, like I said, this game I picked up from Dollarama for $5. It is Tiki Topple from Game Right, and this game originally came out in 2008. And as you can see here on the box, it's the winner of the Mensa Select. That was also in 2008. And on Board Game Geek, it has an average rating of 6.5 out of 10. I was looking online, and you can pick it up for $15 on Amazon. So a pretty decent deal for only $5 at Dollarama. And the game itself is actually quite good for what it is. As you can see, it's for 2 to 4 players, 20-minute game, and ages 10 and up, so pretty family friendly. And yeah, I actually have played this game just a little while ago with my niece and nephew. Rules, and then here's the pieces. Here's the tikis, 9 of those, and really good quality. They're all plastic and quite hard, like they're not hollow or anything like that. And yeah, each tiki has its own look going on there, and then they each have their own names, and they're usually pretty funny names, Kapu and Wiki Wiki. And then we've got these wooden plain pieces here that just move around the board, keeping track of your points. And here's the board game itself, which it's got this kind of slot here that the tikis slide in, and then yeah, just point tracker around the edge. Fairly simple. And then the cards that you play the game with. And so pretty nice organization for the box. These tikis just slip in there when you put it all back together. And the game itself is fairly simple. You're going to pick a color, and you'll take these movement cards for that color. They're all color coordinated with whichever color you pick. And then there's all of these like secret objectives. You each get one of these, and they're all different. And basically, you are trying to get, if this is your card, as you can see here, this says third or better, and you get 2 points. Second or better, 5 points. And first only, you get 9 points. So yeah, ideally, you would want them exactly in this order, but it's going to be pretty hard to do that because everyone else is trying to get these ones in that order. So in this case, this orange one is probably going to end up in the top 3. But as for these other spots, you're going to be fighting over, which ones stay there. And that's where these cards come into play. You have Tiki Up cards. There's 1, 2, and 3. And that you just slide a tiki up. And also to set up the game, you're going to have all these tikis on the backs of them will have different symbols here. So to start the game, you just need to keep those symbols side by side to begin the game. Once you start playing, then it doesn't really matter, but that would be the game set up. And then these cards here, you have these Tiki Up cards. You have 1, 2, and 3, and those are pretty simple. When you play one of those, you choose one Tiki to move up that many spaces. Just like that. And then there's these Tiki Topple cards, where you choose a card to go to the bottom. So if this was mine, well, I got Epo and Nanny up there, so let's get this guy, move him to the bottom. And then there's the Tiki Toast cards. When you play that, the bottommost Tiki is removed from the game. And you can only play these cards once per round, so once you play them, they are gone. And the game ends when either there's only 3 Tikis left or everyone has played their cards. And then you look at your cards here and you see how many points you get. Well, this guy would have got no points, and this guy would have gotten 5 points for Nanny and 9 points for Epo. But if it was like this, let's say, then you'd still get the 5 points for Nanny because it is second or better. But Epo, even though it's in the top 3, it needed to be first only, so you wouldn't get any points for that. And that's basically it. You play as many rounds as there are people, except for if you're playing with 2 people, then you would go 4 rounds. Yeah, not much to it, but it's quite enjoyable. It's definitely not like a super strategic game or anything like that, but it does have some of those characteristics, which makes it a pretty fun game in a family setting. You can play this with your children or younger kids, and the game itself is pretty fun to play, and just everything that goes along with it. The Tiki Topple, that's fun. All the names on these tikis are fun, and everything is in really good quality. Hard plastic, and there's detail in all of the tikis' faces. None of them are the same. Like, that's really nice. And these cards themselves here, Game Right, they always do a pretty good card. And the board, it's nice. I think this slot here could be deeper because they do kind of want to slide out of it. They don't really, it doesn't really keep them in there, but for the most part, that's about it. For negatives, yeah, I'd say that this is just a really fun family game. Yeah, again, I'm pleasantly surprised at some of the games that Dollarama is bringing in, and this is another great one, especially for $5. Kind of a no-brainer. I'd definitely recommend picking it up. So yeah, that's the video. Feel free to leave a like or a comment, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. See ya.